Outriders is the newest game to be released as of making this review, and is a third-person shooter game that can be played either single player and also co-op with friends and or strangers. The game was developed by People Can Fly and was published by Square Enix on April 1st of 2021. It combines brutal and bloody combat with role-playing systems, and this does include a massive skill tree. That personally reminds me of games like Skyrim that also have massive skill trees, along with many different gear modifications. It has been made for the PS4 and 5, the Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Now, this game still has its kinks to be knocked out, with its multiplayer being a bit finicky. For instance, I joined a party even though I didn't want to. I wanted to play as solo as I could, and it was unclear how I joined said party in the first place. The basic plot for the game is that Earth has been destroyed, so humanity has resorted to traveling to space to the planet of Enoch as a last approach of survival. However, as a small group embarks on a journey to investigate signals coming from the planet from their probes, they find that the planet is extremely hostile. After barely surviving a crazy storm, your character is then put into cryosleep, where you are woken up 31 years later to a very different world than the one you fell asleep in.
Let's move up.
The combat feature for the game is simple to understand, and like most games, it gives you a tutorial at the beginning of what is what. However, later on, as you get into the first portion of actual action shooting, it does give you a few of the controls, like your special abilities for your character, and I found myself learning the controls for my character's abilities after the fact because I was so focused on surviving the current part of the map I was in. Speaking of combat and defeating enemies, until I realized that the 1, 2, and 3 keys were for your character's special abilities, I found myself just spraying my enemies with my gun, and that took care of them. And if it didn't, I would, not so graceful at times, retreat and then try again. The movement in the game is also pretty smooth. You use the WASD keys, and the transitions between going backward, forward, and side to side were smooth to the eye as well. The music for the game, in my opinion, is great, with the battle music being upbeat and easy to get into, and adds to the suspense of battle, making me want to continue playing for hours. The graphics for this game are amazing, and I would personally suggest, whether it be on console or PC, that you set it to ultra settings if your system can do so. I personally had to set it to high/medium to do the game review, for my system can't multitask to save its life.
Okay, you wanna play?
But even on those settings, this game still looked pretty great.
Captain, I got attacked by one of those cow things. Something drove it
As
crazy
for an
and it slowed
overall
down.
rating, I would
Keep an eye
give this game a top of mountain, because unlike most games that are coming out these days that are either overly shootery, I'm not sure that's a word, but we're going with it, or overly roleplay, this game has a good mix of both that is evenly balanced, and the roleplay being interesting enough to get over the fact that for someone like me who would normally play just roleplay type games, would be interested in playing this game.
Tanner, I'm seeing some really strange